Now with me today is best-selling parenting author Michael Grose. And Michael, today we're talking about bullying. What's the difference between bullying and teasing?
Yeah, really good question. Bullying is really an insidious behaviour. It's about kids having lack of power. It's this continual putting down, and it can be done lots of different ways. It can be done through exclusion. It can be done by verbally. It can be done also in physical ways. But it's intentional and it's continuous, and the child really lacks power. Whereas teasing tends to be more a one-off sort of thing, and it's often a little bit more give and take. So when a child's teased often by a sibling or by someone at school, they might have been called names, but it's not this continual thing. So mums and dads should know the difference between that.
And look, as parents, what is the best way to handle if you think your child's being bullied?
Yeah. Look, it's a really heartbreaking thing. None of us want our kids to experience hardships, and certainly if you think there might be some bullying happening, and the first thing is I think it's really important just to remain calm and get the facts. One thing that we do know about that kids who do experience some bullying either at school or in other social situations, they need to be listened to and be taken seriously. So take your kids seriously, listen to them, make sure you get all the facts. So try and get a really clear picture, and don't expect to solve things overnight, because sometimes these behaviours, they've been occurring for a while and they continue. There's habits been set up. So get that good, strong, solid picture. Try and find out what your child might be doing, not to instigate it. I don't think kids instigate it at all, but sometimes they can have behaviours which will make them be picked on. Often kids are bullied are those who wear their hearts on their sleeve.
Yeah.
Those kids who are different in some sort of way, and sometimes those kids will be quite sensitive and can say and do things which will almost ask to be picked on. So if you know that's the case, sometimes you've got to coach your kids a little bit, and maybe it's saying, be careful about what you say in front of your friends. Is that the sort of way you need to act around people? Also too, sometimes kids will have really poor body language. The ones with the head down can almost invite others to pick on them. So if you know that's a bit of an issue, sometimes you can actually coach them to stand a little bit strong. Sometimes it's about understanding that kids are on their own or where they go to, so you can give kids little tips about make sure that you have a friend at school wherever you go to, and be aware of some of the areas at school where you may feel less safe. So have a think about some of those really practical tips that you can give your kids to get by.
Now Michael, what about cyberbullying?
Yes, cyberbullying is a new form of bullying. I mean, it's again back to our definition we talked about earlier, which is when kids feel powerless, when they're ganged up on, when it's intentional. And that doesn't just happen outside of home, now it can happen at home. One of the insidious things about cyberbullying is that for the first time ever, kids don't feel safe at home. They can be at home and still the word gets out around them. So it's something which mums and dads are getting their head around. It often occurs through social media such as Facebook, and I think mums and dads need to embrace Facebook and get a really good understanding about it, and keep an eye on your kids. Make sure that your kids know what's happening. If they're going to put something up on Facebook, that once it's out there, it's out there. So you need to talk about how to be safe at home. When cyberbullying does occur and something goes wrong, you need to do is make sure that kids keep a record of what's happened. They need to be able to talk to you about it as well. What we do know is that in kids, a lot of the time when cyberbullying occurs, it occurs in kids' bedrooms when computers are on inside their bedrooms.
Yeah.
So you may need to think about whether the online computers are inside bedrooms or whether they're outside in a living room, so you can keep an eye on this, and also you can be available for your kids.
Yeah, and try and maybe you're friends with your child on Facebook. You can see a bit more of what's going on.
Yeah, if you don't understand Facebook and you're not using Facebook, the one thing you need to do is understand the medium. So get a Facebook page yourself. Sometimes parents will get a Facebook page just so that they can keep an eye on their kids.
Yeah.
And again, that's up to you, but you certainly need to understand the medium itself, so that you can assist your kids and support them, and also teach them ways to be smart online as well. Sometimes kids can be really naive. They forget that they put a picture up on Facebook, or they put a message out there, that it's gone. You know, the genie's out of the bottle.
And it's public. It's public.
It's very public, and it's not taken down as well. And you need to reinforce that message very, very strongly with kids. Now, that if you know, despite all that, things continue to go wrong, it's really important that you do go to your school and get the school on side.
Involved, yeah.
What we know about bullying is that it is often hard for mums and dads to solve things themselves. We do need to have schools on board. That doesn't mean the issue is going to be solved straight away, but you do need to get the school on board so that they can have some strategies as well and keep an eye on things.
And work together to try and solve the issue.
It's really important, but you also, I believe, you've got to be quite realistic. I know some parents will go in and try and sort the whole stuff out themselves.
Yeah.
That's created chaos in school grounds. It can create chaos between families as well. So you need to, in some ways, work through a third party. If that third party is through a school or an agency, or sometimes a doctor as well, where you can get some support, that's really important as well.
Thanks, Michael. That's some fantastic advice. And you can check out Michael's new book, Thriving.